Hi guys, Mrs. Fernandez here. Just checking in and wanted to give you guys some cool ideas for things that you could use to create your own art materials from around the house. Because a lot of us only have paper, lined paper, pencils, pens, maybe markers, crayons, or colored pencils, and that might be it. If you have more stuff, awesome, use it, share it with your family members. If not, here's some cool ideas for things that you could use to improvise for art materials for around the house. So you can get your craft on. So first thing, I shared this during our little cloud dough tutorial. If you have old dried up markers around the house, take it, put it in like a cup or a jar. If it's a container with a lid on it, that's awesome. But this is about a half a cup of water in this jar. All I did was let it sit overnight with the tip side down in the water. And what happened was all the ink leached into the water. And now we have our own little homemade watercolor. And then you can just go recycle what was left of the marker. Or you can even just use it as a dipping tool and draw with it. Put the lid back on this because it does get messy. What else could we do? We can make our own paintbrushes with things you find outside or around the house. This is just a stick from my backyard. One side I have a bunch of clovers. I use like a rubber band tie around it. The other side, I think these are little grass seed thingies. I thought they look cool, and I tied with a string to the other end of the stick. Let's test it out. Ooh, we'll test it with our green marker. Alright, so this is going to be a little messy, so always if you're painting, put newspaper down or do it outside or on top of your mom's nice tablecloth. Alright, so this, let me see if I can I got it on the string, that's okay. Some cool textures going on here. Can you see? There you go. Let's try the other end with the clovers. I'm going to take off the pieces that are sticking out because I want the leaves. I did try making some paint. I wanted to show you in this video, but it didn't work out. Try using flower petals to make colored paint, and yellow petals weren't working out. I tried rose petals. It worked a little bit, but it wasn't enough to actually get on a paintbrush. I just like smashed up the rose petals and then used my fingers to like blot. It worked a little bit, but not enough to share, worth sharing. But I would love to hear your ideas, anything that you might experiment with at home to use. Other things. I have some old makeup that I don't use anymore. Please don't go steal your mom or your sister's or grandma's makeup. Ask first. And you can either finger paint with it or use a paintbrush. Wet paintbrush on top of the little palette. It basically turns into like a watercolor. This is a Earth Day palette, so it has like light blue, dark blue, and green in it. They're all kind of turning out to like a grayish, bluish green though. So there's that. What else can we use? Old toothbrushes. Don't use brother's toothbrush that he's still using. Use an old one. This you dip in paint, and you can create cool little speckles. So here, put some purple paint on here, and then all you do is you use your finger, go like this. It creates a cool little airbrush kind of effect. Really good for making stars for a galaxy if you have white paint. I took some little fuzz balls, but cotton balls would work here too. Taped it around the end of a pencil, and this would make a cool little dippy thingy. Almost did that right in my big paint. Let's do some green. It'd be like a mop. There you go. What else could we try? So the flower petals was a flop. Other things I read and researched were you could use sprinkles. I picked out all the, well, not all of them, but a bunch of red and pink ones to try to make like a pink color. I smashed it up with a little bit of water. It looks like smashed up Pepto-Bismol. But let's see how it works. I haven't tested it yet. So I smashed it up in my palette with this end of my paintbrush, a big paintbrush. A pencil or eraser end of a pencil would work really good to do that too. You want a little bit of water. And if you can see, it's a little chunky still, but it's pretty wet. And it looks like there's pigment in it. So let's test it out and see how well it works. Ooh, it's kind of working. Yay! It's not super bright. There's a lot, you can obviously use food coloring. I thought sprinkles would be kind of fun. My son said as long as you don't use all of them up because he really likes sprinkles. Anyways, so there's my little heart with my pink sprinkle paint in there. The other thing I've seen a lot of art teachers trying out online is dirt or mud paint. So I guess we're all trying to think of like, how did the artists make paint back in the olden days? They used to crush up berries and different rocks, bones, all kinds of stuff to create different colors of paint. And that's where a lot of the names come from as well, what kind of minerals that they used. Anyway, so what I did was I started with dry soil from my backyard. Potting mix didn't work for some reason. I think it was just too, I don't know. I had a nice potting mix for my new seedlings that I've been planting, and it did not work. So this is dirt straight from my ground. I let it get, added water to it so it got muddy, and then I took some of the mud and put them in a new palette here, added a little bit more water, and now it looks more like watercolor. So let's test this out. I'm gonna get a new piece of paper. And just like when you're painting with watercolors, the more water you use, the lighter the color will be. Yay! So it's a little chunky, but that's okay because it's dirt. You expect to see some dirt. You could probably find different colors of dirt outside too. Dirt that has clay in it might be a little more red or yellowy. This is topsoil dirt, so it's pretty brown. Ooh, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. I kind of like... I'm gonna add a little more water. Let's try this. And... yay. Whoops. Let me outline my little sunflower here. This is kind of cool. So I challenge you to try creating your own art materials or recycled materials from around the house to create some artwork, especially if you don't have stuff at home. See what you can find. Share your ideas. Use one of mine if you want. I'm sure there's thousands of ideas that I haven't even come across yet, but these are just some of the best ideas I've seen so far that I want to try out and show you guys. So there's our sprinkle in dirt sunflower painting. Let me add a little green. Boop. Here, we'll do it this way. With our recycled marker green paint. So, kind of cool. I thought this would be fun and different. What else did I have to show you guys before we leave? Oh, other things you could use. Random textured things around the house. This Hawaiian lei you could dip in paint. Use it like a sponge. Ooh, that's a nice texture. And then I had a toilet paper roll. So if you were in my unified class, we created stamps out of these by folding them. You could make like an Easter egg. Looks kind of like an Easter egg on the side. Or if you fold it again on the other side, it turns into a heart. Just dip it in paint and stamp on it, or you can trace around it. Save these up too. We can do lots of cool crafts with these. And I know everybody has toilet paper. Biggest thing that we've been worried about during this whole COVID-19 crisis is that if we have enough toilet paper. So save these rolls. I will love you for it if you bring them to school with me. Yes. or create something cool with it. String, you can use string for all kinds of sorts of things. String painting is really fun. You dip string in some paint and then drag it across your paper. Or you can close it in a book and pull it across. That works really good too. Or you fold the paper and pull it through. Makes fun sounds too. And that's about all I have to show you for today. But yeah, please feel free. Please experiment with things all around your house. Have fun with it. Include your family members, because art's a fun way to socialize, to get along with each other, and to relax. So please share your ideas and comments below. I hope you all are well. I miss you guys, and please have fun. Happy art making.